Hello, folks. Jim Voss, one more time for just my opinion, high above my garage in Aiken, South Carolina. Well, I just got to start off by telling you I'm about as pissed off as I can be. First of all, this administration has wrecked everything that Donald Trump has ever put together. And now today, he announces that if Social Security cannot be fixed, and we'll get back to a previous podcast in just a second, if Social Security cannot be fixed, he's going to take 24% of our benefits for Social Security. Right before my mom passed away, she was making $1,080 per month. That would have meant $250 to her, and if I had not been paying her bills, she would have starved to death. Krusty the Clown has just stomped on everybody's feelings, needs, heart, soul, patriotism, freedom, liberty, you name it. This joke of a president, and I do mean joke, this toddling old man who has no memory, no sense of direction, and does not care about anyone because he doesn't understand anything about anyone. No one in the United States should be looking to vote for this person again. Absolutely no one. If you're voting for Biden, you too should have to be, I guess, put away or have some serious psychological counseling because you're nuts. 24%, okay? Let's talk about why. Let's talk about why the need to feed this cow from the rear end so that these elected politicians can sit up there and say, I saved Social Security. No, you didn't. You killed Social Security. You cut its heart out. You stole, and I do mean stole. You took $2.9 trillion away from a standalone account that was approved so that no one, and set up so that no one could touch that money except for Social Security recipients. Absolutely no one. Now, what'd you do? You changed the wording. You people, you elected people, took the advantage of us by not telling us. Don't talk to me about transparency. Transparency means, would you please look the other way while I rob your ass blind? You took $2.9 trillion away from Social Security so that you could fund ridiculous-ass social programs. You took $2.9 trillion so that you could fund student loans, which are being repaid at the rate of 37%. When I buy a car from the bank and I sign that note, if I don't make my payments, they come and they take my car. So what do? You've loaned this money to the student on him getting a job and paying back. Well, they get the job, but they just decide they're not going to pay back. Well, guess what? Don't give them any more money back on tax returns. Take every damn penny they get. If they get $5,000 and they owe $50,000 in student loans, then you apply that against it. Don't charge them an outrageous amount of interest like the Internal Revenue Service does. Just make them pay the money back. If not, if you I'm almost about to say pussyfoot, but I don't know if I can say that on the air. If you dilly-dally around with the people that owe money and you're not serious, they're not going to be serious. So they're not going to pay that money back. You have a giveaway program every year, where you spend about $2 trillion in giveaway programs. Federal grants that are not being paid back. They don't have to be paid back. Congress has made it so that they are not having to repay these loans. Now, how do you think these loans went for great things, for the greater good, for scientific research, whatever? No, hell no. We paid $500,000 to some idiot who's going to give sexual lessons, education, to Ethiopian hookers. Are you listening to me? We're giving them sex education to Ethiopian hookers. If you're a hooker, you already got all the sex education you need. We gave away $170,000 so that we could study how an ant gets a grain of sand out of the mound, out of the anthole. Are you listening to me? I would sit out there naked all day and all night to report to the government how that ant, I tell you what he does, he picks it up with those little feelers and he hauls his ass out of there like a miner and throws it out on the mound. That's it. Give me my $175,000. Oh God, I'm beyond burned up. I'm telling you what. I'll get thrown out. I don't need to go to any political rally. I don't need to go to any political rally and listen to that lowlife that has been elected to say that they're trying to save Social Security and we should vote for them. I'm going to do my research and I want to find out. I want to find out how many Democrats and how many Republicans and who they were and what they voted for and why did they take the money out of Social Security. We have got trillions, and I do mean trillions, billions and billions and trillions of dollars going to people in other countries that hate our guts. They are not our allies. They are not with us when it comes to a skirmish. They are not with us when it comes to a war. So why the hell are we giving them money? I'm sorry that you are a third world nation and you're not smart enough or you're not swift enough to grow your own crops. I'm sorry that you're not on the food chain high enough to build your own engines. I don't give a rat's ass one way or the other. I really don't. I would cease to give any and all foreign aid unless these countries signed a pledge to be our ally in tough times. Now, how much do you think they're paying us back? Virtually nothing. The countries that owe us hundreds of millions of dollars, and they are just barely paying the interest on that. Now, we have another problem. We bring in $4.7 trillion per year. We spend $6.7 trillion per year. Now, if you did your budget or I did my budget that way, we would be in bankruptcy heaven. But not the United States. No, sirree. We're going to make sure that you've got everything that you need, and what you don't have, we're going to make sure that the government gives it to you. Well, here's the way life is. This is reality. This is from me. So this is just my opinion. But this is from me. One, you decided at age 15 to drop out of school. You dropped out of school in the 10th grade because you thought you were smarter than what they were teaching in the schoolhouse, and you didn't figure you were going to need that any time in your life. So now you're 40 and you want to go to Burger King and make $15 an hour flipping burgers. Well, let me break it to you. You're not worth $15 an hour. I'm sorry. You don't have a skill set. I was probably in middle management before I made $15 an hour. That's what you call reality. That's the truth. And between 15 and 40, you didn't try to get any more education. You didn't go to a tech school and try and learn a trade where you could have made a lot of money. You didn't do anything but sit around, scratch your ass, and watch Jerry Springer and listen to music and play videos. And now you want the government to pick up your slack, your tired ass slack. Not caring about life, not having any goals, not achieving any goals, and you want the government to take care of you. Well, that is the woke, W-O-K-E, woke generation. And the woke generation is the worst thing that has ever happened to our world, our country, our nation. It's the worst thing. It's the worst cancer that has ever been embedded in our bodies, minds, and souls. It teaches you don't need a job, live off of the government. It is the best way to usher in socialism and then communism. Let me tell you something, folks. I've been around the world 6 times. 3 tours of combat. I've seen socialist countries. I've seen communist countries. None of them, understand this, none of them have ever worked. They don't work in government. What you end up with is a dictator where your goods, your home, your land, your earnings, your everything belong to the state. You do not go out and get the job you want. The government gives you the job they want you to have, and you will work at that salary, or I don't know what they do when you don't. There's no welfare line. There is no welfare check coming in every month. There is no disability check coming in every month. You don't get crap from the government except for crap. And we who have worked, I have worked since I was 10 years old, bagging groceries at the Piggly Wiggly. Okay, that's before they had child labor laws. But I worked from the time I was 10 till I was 71. I worked for 61 years. I put money into the Social Security system for 61 years. I gave 25 years of my life to the military and 45 years of my life to law enforcement by being able to run a parallel career. No, I'm not that old. And now the government wants to take it away from me for the mistake they have made. How much sense does that make? How much sense does that make? It makes none. Because you see, we don't vet anymore. We don't vet these people that want to run for office. And the average Joe, me or you, that has a truckload of common sense can't be elected because we don't have $5 or $6 million in the coffers. And the people with putting that money into the coffers for them to run for a $190,000 job are the movers and the shakers. They're the people with all the money, and you got the money, you got the power, you got the control. So you put the man in there or woman in there that you want, and then you own them. I'll make sure you get elected, but you will vote the way I want you to vote. If I own a farm, you're going to be for the farmers. If I own a mine, you're going to be for the miners. I don't know. If I own hookers, I guess you'll be for prostitution. What we are looking for, this is the extent of our vetting. Married, supposedly a good marriage. One boy, one girl. Christian, teaches Sunday school or probably sings in the choir. The wife doesn't work. She has a lot of charities. He's on a lot of boards of boys and girls schools and blah, 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 Red Cross Society and all this other good stuff. That's your candidate. So he's a good guy. Gonna vote for him. Not gonna check his background. Okay, we're not interested in what he did 20 years ago. He's charged with rape, charged with murder, may have gotten off, whatever, I don't know. We don't check on any of that, you see. And then after he's been in office for 4 or 5 years, all of a sudden we find out that he is not of the woman-man relationship. He's a little bit light in the loafers, and he turns around and he's embezzling money, or he's moving money, or he's already sold his soul to the devil, which goes on daily in the Congress and in the Senate. We got people who are so damn old in the Senate that they don't even know where they're at most of the time. And they have no more power. They have no more power to bring these crooked-ass senators and congressmen to justice because they surround themselves with laws and motions and all this other good stuff where they can't be prosecuted. They just, they don't want to touch it. How many people were involved in the Steele dossier? Probably 30, maybe more. Part of the DOJ, part of the FBI, Madam Lardass, Strzok, Steele, Nadler, Nancy, Chuck, all involved. And now we have the goods. We have the report, the Furman report that says it was all just a big-ass lie. So I want to know, when's Hillary going to be charged? Because what she did was treason. The people in the DOJ and the FBI, when are they going to be charged? That's treason. You took down a sitting president. Wire fraud, libel, slander, treason, you name it. They did it. I'll guarantee you they will find them a sacrificial lamb, which is probably going to be Adam Schiff, and he's probably going to get a slap on the wrist and no pizza for a week. Yeah, because nobody likes him. I mean, he's like a bull on your ass. You just can't get rid of him, and it hurts when you think about it. You know what our problem is? Woke, BLM, Antifa, and these other bullshit organizations have lulled us into, well, the government's going to take care of us. We don't have to worry about anything. Surely they would not do anything to take away my retirement, to take away my living, to take food off of my table. They're going to take care of us. Well, wake up, folks, because the coffee stinks. It's been burnt. We've been burnt. We've been burnt by putting our trust into an organization that is totally out for themselves. They don't give a rat's furry ass about me and you. Under Donald Trump, and hell yes, I'm going to bring him up because I'm going to tell you what. Donald Trump would have been in office, all this crap with China and Russia would have never been going on. He would have picked up the phone and called G, and he would have called Rudy Poot, and he'd have said, you either settle your ass down or I'll come bomb your neighborhood. And you know what? They would have settled down. Little Rocket Man would have gone back to playing with Ting Tong Bing Dong, his brother, and he wouldn't have ever shot another missile off. He was tough. He was brash. He was harsh. And I want him back because he ran this nation well. The lowest unemployment rate among African Americans, among Latinos, among every race. Every race had the best when he was here. Our trade was coming up balanced when he was in office. China stayed in their place when he was in office. We would not have to put up with Fauci and all this other crap, and from Bill Gates, what we've had to tolerate about their doings around the world. You want to prove me wrong? Fine. You get on the microphone, you get on the video, and you challenge me on YouTube, on Buzzsprout, on Rumble. You challenge me to a duel, but don't you bring a knife to a gunfight. Don't you bring your emotions because Trump has some rude tweets. You bring the fact, and I'll put your ass down. I will show you up so bad because you can't stand on anything that Biden has done that he has not screwed up. The world is laughing at us. We have lost the respect we had when Donald Trump was in office. And now, the people that we bailed out in World War II, Great Britain today said it's okay with us if you want to take Taiwan. Told China, you want to take Taiwan? That's fine and dandy with us. We won't oppose it. And we saved their ass from speaking German. Cut them off. Don't give them sons of bitches another dime. Cut them off. And then let's start repaying our two biggest debtors. Number one, Japan. Number two, China. Pay them back. Pay them back. It's time to take that budget, lay it out, and then tell the people, if you're elderly or if you're infirmed, we'll make sure that you have money to live on. But if you're able to work, you're going to work. If you don't want to work, you're going to starve. If you're not willing to work, you're not going to have a place to live. Move back in with your parents. Repay your student loans. Take care of your obligations, and therefore we can take care of ours. But cut trillions of dollars out of this budget. Period. Don't mess with the military. Don't mess with Social Security. We got a lot of other places that we can cut. It's time that we stepped away from being a nanny state and started being the United States of America again. And these freedom loaders, I should say freeloaders, BLM, Antifa, the woke generation, and the cancel culture start charging these suckers with burning down entire cities and put their ass in prison. If we need more prisons, let's build more prisons. It's time that the United States stood for, you do the crime, you're going to do the time. There's consequences for actions. Okay, I've bitched enough. But I tell you what, that I'm on a fixed income right now. And although it's a good fixed income because of all the time that I've served in my life, I'm still pissed off that Uncle Sam's going to take 24% of that back. And I'll guarantee you that 24% won't stay in Social Security. That 24%, when they get the chance, will be siphoned off for some other social program. This is Jim Voss, complaining all the time, but especially today, high above my garage. This is just my opinion. Please give me some likes, give me a subscribe. I'm picking up more and more listeners now because I'm saying what you're thinking. And I'm not politically correct, but I'm correct. And the reason for that is I do my research. And we are in the middle of a full-blown, severe bullshit alert. Don't blame me. I voted for Trump. I love you. We still got to take that warm shower together, walk down the lane, hold hands. And let's see, anything. Oh, yeah, we're going to go bowling and buy a beer. Okay? I love you. I mean it. Especially that good-looking blonde back there in the fourth row with the low cut. Okay. And on the blue dress. Later.